Good afternoon, countrymen and women, and good afternoon to all the members of the press who are here. Let me take recognition of the Central Committee of the National Democratic Congress, which has been represented by 30 members out of 40. 30 members out of 40 gathered this morning to deliberate on the issue of the alliance and the way forward in terms of elections for the NDC. As I alluded to 2 days ago, that it was very difficult for me and unprofessional to say anything over the issue of the alliance without consulting the National Governing Council, which we popularly refer to as Central Committee. The party constitution of the NDC reposes the authority to make decisions of the party in the Central Committee. And the quorum of the Central Committee, according to our party constitution, is 22. We are currently 40 members of the Central Committee, and out of those 40, 30 attended. During this meeting, I gave a report of what transpired when they gave us a mandate to go and negotiate an electoral pact between the UPND, the NDC, RPP, and obviously our big brother, Mr. Milupi. Let me say that I am extremely disappointed that some of our brothers in the NDC have decided to take a destructive route other than building our beloved party. We were given a mandate by the people through the National Governing Council to go and negotiate terms and also how we were going to operate as an alliance government. We started these meetings, I think, 3 years ago. And when I said last week that the issue of the alliance is almost 99.01%, there were only 3 sticking issues that were left. We agreed almost on everything, although the last meeting that they had, which I did not attend, but I assigned my vice president, the secretary general, and 2 or 3 members of the National Governing Council to go and represent us. And the mandate we gave them was, our position was that we needed to go in the alliance as NDC in an alliance with other political parties. For the past 3 years, the sticking point has been that, first and foremost, we were deliberating on the name, what was the alliance going to be called. Our friends, the UPND, suggested that they wanted the alliance to be called UPND Alliance. We asked them, UPND Alliance with who? When you call it UPND Alliance, it will be an alliance with who? We suggested 2 things. That we either formulate a new name altogether, either by maintaining opposition alliance as a legal entity, or we call it Northeast-Southwest Alliance to encompass the issue of tribalism that has engulfed our beloved country on the political scene. What we said was, look, the UPND is regarded as the southwest Northwestern Party. And any other political party that is either a breakaway from PF or that is associated with a breakaway from MMD or MMD was referred to as a Northern Party. Now, when the name becomes North, South, East, West Alliance, this issue of tribalism that has engulfed our country will be dealt with. Even if we don't call it Northwest Alliance, we suggested maybe we can call it a Rainbow Alliance like it was called in Kenya. Our friends rejected all this and said they just wanted to be called UPND Alliance. We put our foot down. At that time, we were in tandem with my brother, who I respect very much, up to date. Even my Secretary General, Mrs. Atanga, who I still call my mother up to this day. And let me say this, that yesterday I saw Mrs. Atanga claiming that I called her a fluffy dog. Let me say this, that when I said this war that has started, our colleagues have started, is like a fluffy biting a lion. That was a figure of speech. I used that figuratively, implying that a giant cannot be fought by a midget. And I did not refer it to anybody. And let me say to the country and Mrs. Atanga, Madam, if you felt I insulted you, I unreservedly apologize. Equally to the other members who attended that briefing, if you felt that I called you a fluffy dog or I insulted you, I unreservedly apologize. The issue at hand is not about who finish who wins who. The issue at hand is the people of Zambia. The issue at hand is the people of Zambia. And I don't even understand where our brothers and my sister have now started attacking my personal integrity and dragging me to court over an issue that they understand that the mandate we're given. Like I was saying, our colleagues refused. Said, can we go and think about this use of the name or the flagship, as it were? When we came back, our friends became reasonable. The late young man, Lukuku, suggested in that meeting that fine, here the two big political parties are NDC and UPND. We don't mind ourselves not being mentioned in the name of the alliance. But can we probably call it the UPNDC Alliance? He asked that we just add a C on the UPND. We put a C. It will come out as UPNDC Alliance. I agreed. We agreed as a party. Our friends refused. Our friends refused. We adjourned that meeting. Again, we came back. Our friends now, because on that day, what transpired was that my brother, President HH, said, and I quote, if you don't want to be called UPND Alliance, then us, we are withdrawing the running mate from giving it to any member of the alliance. And by the way, in the other meeting, we had agreed that I was going to be the running mate, and we agreed. I have never at any time felt like being the president of an alliance when my elder brother, President H, has been trying to be president 5 times. I will be very unreasonable, extremely unreasonable. I said, you are older than me. You've been trying at this thing. I've just come out as minister. Be the president, and I'll be the running mate, so that we can help each other. These things they've been talking about tribalism. When I from the north and you from the south combine forces, the people will believe in us. They will believe in us. They will believe in us because they, like I said, they believe that any breakaway from PF, and you know that NDC is a breakaway from PF, is a northern party, and UPND is a southern party. So if the name is UPNDC Alliance, everybody will know that it is a coming together of 2 political parties. Our colleagues accepted in the meeting that we had that yes, it will be called UPNDC Alliance. So the issue of the name was sorted out. What remained now was, how do we field members of parliament? We said there are 2 issues. We either legalize, we go to the registrar of societies and legalize the name UPNDC Alliance, because members of the UPND, members of NDC will feel ownership of this vehicle. Then we can field all the aspiring candidates on this name UPNDC Alliance. Our friends refused. They said, no, even if we call it UPNDC Alliance, all the MPs must be filled, must file their nominations on the name UPND. When we insisted that we are not going to accept our members to file as MPs on the UPND, if we don't legalize UPNDC Alliance, then what we can do, we can field president and vice president, you, president, I, running mate. Then each individual party must have a portion of MPs in the alliance. Yes. And my suggestion was that to end this tribalism, what we should do is that we should not give ourselves regions. We should not say NDC will field on the Copper Belt, Luapula, Northern, Muchinga, and Eastern. What I suggested, or what we suggested as NDC, was that we are going to have a mixture. For instance, if we go to Northern Province, we go to Mpolokoso, we say Mpolokoso, it shall be UPND with all the councillors and the MP. Kasama, NDC with all the councillors and the MPs. Luingu, Luansenshi, UPND. In the other constituents, NDC. And our suggestion was that out of 100% seats, we are only asking for 40% as NDC, because you have the larger political party, you take 60%. They refused that we cannot give you 60%, 40%, because we have been in existence for a long time. I said, okay, fine, on behalf of the party. We can reduce to 30. We respect you as big brother. We'll give you 70% of the MPs. We get 30, as long as we have a mixture of MPs elected. So that if the people in Northern Province, the people in Wapula, see that there is NDC standing in Southern Province, NDC standing in Western Province, NDC standing in Northwestern Province, UPND standing in Northern Province, UPND standing in Wapula, UPN standing on the Copper Belt, they will believe that this is the end of tribalism and we should support it. Our brothers rejected. They said, no, what you are going to do is, yes, 30% we can agree to give you. But you select these 30% and let them come and file the nomination on UPND. But there will be, excuse me, party cadres, we can be happy, but let's be happy minimum. I want the nation to listen so that they are not misled. Our friend said you can bring your 30%, give us the names, then they'll come and stand on UPND, but they'll be your MPs. I said, what legal provision are you using? In Parliament, when you stand as UPND, you belong to the UPND. When you stand as the NDC, that's the only time you belong to NDC. And by the way, colleagues, we've already got one MP. Surely, are we going to accept that you should not run on NDC, you should run on PF? We are on UPND. We are respected as a political party because we have representation in Parliament. Surely you want me to lose even one? Imo 50 something. Think of us. My brother said, if you don't want, then I'm going to withdraw the running mate and give it to one of my people. I told him, do it now. I said, do it now if you want. Get it away from me. I don't mind. I am not here to be treated like a small boy or to be treated like we are pleading with you. Let's respect one another and consider one another as partners. Not even equal partners, because we've given you 70%. We have only 30%. But even that 30% must be respected. If you don't want this, then, well, we have no agreement. We adjourned that meeting. I sent my vice president, Mr. Kafumba, after we came and consulted Central Committee. We called the mini Central Committee of about 20 or so, because that time COVID was at its peak. So we said, let's just call a few members of Central Committee and consult on this. We told them, this is what the UPND are saying, and they are saying we should all run on UPND. And our members of Central Committee, in the presence of Mr. Kafumba was there, Professor Atanga was there, Mrs. Atanga was there, rejected, unanimously rejected, that we cannot be swallowed and we cannot have our members run on UPND. And there's an example, countrymen and women, and let me give you what happened in 2006. ULP and PF were in an alliance. We allowed ULP to field candidates in Western Province, and we said if there are any candidates who are popular on PF in Western Province, they will run on ULP ticket. And also those candidates who look popular on the northern side must run on PF. One of them was Honorable Winda, Honorable Frida Kansembe, and the late Mr. Mutonga, who was Kanyama Member of Parliament. They stood on PF ticket, and we won the elections in 2006. Mr. Sakwila Squatter started complaining every time we had we called a caucus of MPs and said, Mr. Sata, you are calling my MPs without my knowledge. And really, you cannot be calling my MPs without getting permission from me. Mr. Sata said, oh, you have your MPs? Said, yes. Who are those? Honorable Winda, Kansembe. He said, okay, thanks, I'll get back to you. Mr. Sata called these three and told them, I am told you are ULP MPs. Tell me if you are ULP MP today, I write the speaker to declare your seats vacant so that I can field my own members. Lubinga, Alfreda Kansembe, and Mr. Mutonga said, we are not ULP, we are PF. Tell Mr. Sekwiba not to interfere. Mr. Sata said, me to tell Mr. Sekwiba. You yourselves go and tell him. They went and told Mr. Sekwiba, we are not ULP, we are PF. When they came back, they were appointed. Lubinda became member of Central Committee. Mr. Mutonga became member of Central Committee in charge of security. That was the end of ULP. I have that history. That history. I'll be very naive, extremely naive to accept that kind of arrangement. It is like they are telling you there is a lion there, and that's where you are running to. You'll be eaten. You'll be eaten. So we told our colleagues, this thing will only work, to summarize, will only work once we agree on the flagship that is acceptable. We agree to share constituencies. We'll still give you 70%. We'll get 30%. And above all, we need, before we sign any agreement, we must now harmonize our ideologies and our manifestos. Yes. Up to now, they've signed an agreement. Ideologies have not been agreed upon. Manifestos have not been harmonized. We have delayed as NDC to officially launch our manifesto. We have a manifesto because we believed that we're going to harmonize the manifestos as we go in the alliance. In a nutshell, I am not against the alliance, but we are against the alliance where we are treated like big brother, young brother. An alliance where our party will not be respected, and that we should turn from NDC to pure UPND. That we totally reject. And I must say that the resolution of this Central Committee you are seeing here today, these are the results. Can we accept, the question was, can we accept those terms? All the 30 they have written here. No, 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 no. Now coming to my colleagues, Brother Kafumba, my mother, Mrs. Atanga, Father Luonde, Frederick Membe, Mr. Professor Atanga, I hold you in very high esteem. I respect all of you. By the way, I'm younger than all of you. I am 52. Mrs. Atanga is 62. Although jokingly, yesterday I was joking with my family. I said, Mrs. Atanga was saying, Kambwili mwaiche sana, fit to be my son. Then, if I'm the firstborn, could she have the child at 10 years old? Defilement. Excuse me, I take very strong exceptions to insults. Shouting that defilement is an insult. Respect our mother, Mrs. Atanga. What I've said was just something on a lighter note. But don't disparage and say defilement. Can you apologize and withdraw?
I withdraw.
Shout that I apologize and withdraw.
I apologize and reservedly and withdraw.
Thank you very much. I am not fighting you, my dear brothers and sisters. All I'm asking, let's do the right thing. And this whole thing of going to court, dragging me to court and saying I was not elected as MP, you know, people will just think, as president, people will just be looking at you and wonder, like my brother, Kafumba, you are a lawyer of very high repute with over 30 years of practicing law. Surely, the party constitution in Article 24(3), subsection 4, states clearly, and I quote, in case my elder brother as a lawyer, you didn't read our manifesto, our constitution. It says the party constitution clearly states that the party, through the National Governing Council or its original office bearers, can appoint a president until one is elected at the Congress. The party, through its National Governing Council, who is the Central Committee, can elect a president, or its original office bearers, who in this case are here, all of them, can appoint a president until one is elected at the council. I, Chishimba Kambwili, was appointed by National Governing Council in accordance with Article 24(3). So the claim that I was not elected, which you have taken to court, is baseless and devoid of any legal support. Secondly, Article 24(4) of our party constitution states, and I quote, Article 24 further states that a president so appointed by NGC, National Governing Council, or by its original members shall have such rights and powers, as if he was elected at the party congress. End of quote. How do you say I was not elected? I'm not a president of the party. And it says in appointing the president, you need 2/3. Even in removing the president, you need 2/3. Now, mweba ikelefai that mwantamfia. Are you 2/3? Mweba ikelefai that mwantamfia. Are you 2/3? I leave it to the people of Zambia to see. Again, Mrs. Atanga, my dear sister, my mother, I'm fit to be your firstborn son. I agree, totally agree. I respect women and I respect you, my mother. And I'll forever respect you until the end of time. Article 25(d) of our Constitution says, the President, in consultation with the Secretariat, my dear sister Wanatanga, the President, in consultation with the Secretariat, not the Secretary General, but the Secretariat, convenes meetings of the National Governing Body. The President, in consultation with Secretariat, for which you used to head until today. No, sorry. You are still the Secretary General. But I'll announce the resolutions that we have made on you after I finish dealing with this issue of the alliance. So the power to convene National Governing Council lies in the President in consultation with the Secretariat. It is the President who should tell the Secretary General, Madam or Secretariat, May we have a central committee on the 25th? Yes, we can go ahead. Please convene the central committee, not vice versa. Besides, ma'am, yesterday you said Kambwili appointed me as Secretary General around 06 when he formed this party. Now, how do you fire somebody who appointed you? How do you fire the appointed? So, what the Secretary General, Mrs. Atanga, was saying, because she's still our Secretary General, although she will face some disciplinary action. For us here is not to chase people. We want to build. And surely, Alliance fail, he said to Fulunganye Party Yesu. Alangam left for join a UPND. All you can do, you just go and join them. Where I come from, they say Tabashavalona. I know what has happened. Some people said no. If Kambwili doesn't accept and the party is what we'll do, we'll just bring confusion, go to court, obtain an injunction, so that by the time to puishanya nishama election and nomination na yapwa. Mweba mnyina nete ngefyo chidi temi tontonka nishe isuma. Ngefyo chidi temi tontonka nishe isuma. I hope tefyo chidi. And I'm not accusing you at Tefyo Chidi. I'm only saying Tefyo Chidi because that's the information I received and verified. It's only you who can tell me whether it's true or not. So, to call the Central Committee, it is the President. The National Governing Council, it is the President in consultation with Secretariat. There is no provision in a constitution that authorizes the Secretary General or even the Vice President to call for a National Governing Council meeting. I can only be removed as president by the resolution of a National Governing Council with 2/3 majority, period. So let's not waste the court's time. The courts are very busy. There is COVID. You want to go and bring issues. We hear you want to go to court. You were even trying to get an injunction. Mweba mnyinani. Pali fya kuatila injunction hapa. Huku kana fiati, umwa umiaisa mkufaya wakana fiati awe, ngole mfaya tukalaika na muka boba nshakese, adina kutuwala koti. I don't see myself any reason for us to go to court. But if you go to court, we shall come with the constitution and we shall defend ourselves. In conclusion, the Central Committee has resolved all those who were involved in that illegal press conference have been suspended with immediate effect. And we are going to write to each individual, going by the provision of the Constitution, which requires that all our disciplinary procedure states, and I quote, under Section 8 of the Disciplinary Code, the disciplinary procedure is laid out as follows. A, the offending member must be written to, stating out the particulars of the offense. B, the person must be given 10 days in which to respond and exculpate him or herself. C, then the hearing shall be constituted, where the member will come and defend himself. D, then a decision is made of the punishment to be meted out. And by the way, according to our Constitution, this is disciplinary procedure. Once the hearing of a disciplinary committee hears the matter, on a member of National Governing Council, they will refer the matter to the National Governing Council to confirm their verdict. It means they will write to the National Governing Council recommending the disciplinary action to be taken against this individual. When National Governing Council sits, it will now either confirm the verdict or even reduce it or even forgive a member. So we are going to follow procedure by writing to all of you including Honorable Chishala, my younger brother. You are suspended. And we write to you to exculpate 10 days. If you don't write, you don't exculpate yourself, well and good. We'll come and reconvene here and we'll decide your fate. Countrymen and women, I have said and I want to say that I'm not power hungry. I'm not looking to be president today. I have intentions of becoming president through legitimate ways. But if today we say, let's come together and save the people of Zambia through this alliance, and Kambwili be vice president or be chairman of finance, for the sake of liberating the Zambians, I will accept like I accepted. When we started this, people were saying, Tachakawombe because Kambwili na HH wense bali ba power hungry. Awe ne mwana wa mwemba na li chiese na tawe bane. Where I come from, they say, Kwapa tachila kubeya. Kwapa tachila kubeya. Meaning, therefore, umukulu mukulu. And obviously, in terms of being president, umukulu in this alliance, why Shasana? Why wouldn't I respect him? I still don't understand why the UPND was so adamant on straightforward issues that could have resolved our alliance. Having said that, effective today, unless otherwise, NDC is no longer a member of the alliance. I hope I've made myself very clear. And to you, my brothers and sisters, bakafumba banakafumba na mpapa tasana. Bakafumba banatanga ba Professor Atanga na Bambi. The Constitution is on our side. We have done the correct thing. We have convened Central Committee. And by the way, I want the country to know that when they came to report to me, I directed Mrs. Atanga and the Vice President, call for Central Committee. Instead of calling for Central Committee, we come and resolve issues, they decide to go and expel me, illegally expel me, hound me out of the party, and decide to go to court. Courts are there to resolve disputes when you have failed to resolve a dispute. But the question is, did we fail to resolve this issue? And by the way, ukukana fyokwebati tetutuye mu alliance umwakwati ni political party moyo ibe lishina tukayemina pali political party kushemula ndumwe bamunyinane na Yesu mwanalesa efyo bamutanikile mukulekelesha foni yandila ili kwi ndefu okulisha olwimbo lw'abakatolika. Nshile fwaya mweba mnyinane. Nshile fwaya mweba mnyinane munchitefe bachitile Yesu. Ndi wakaele tapale chondu fyenye ndefwaya fyo kutila pate Yesu ikatane na ifwa abantu bakaichindike. Long live Zambia. I have left out one important item, that in the absence, while Mrs. Atanga is answering to disciplinary charges, Dr. Is it Professor or Doctor? Dr. Mbulo, member of the Central Committee, has been appointed as Acting Secretary General with immediate effect until further. Thank you very much.